We're back. We're back. My God, I missed you guys. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah.
It's been an exciting few weeks, as we'll see a little bit later. But yeah, it's been a while.
Oh my gosh, yeah. This guy texted me late last night with a little preview as to what's coming today. So I'm pretty excited for him, for myself, for all of us. Welcome to Valiant Tldr. This is the chat where we are always talking about Valiant. We got Mr. SCG here, who's the historian and expert in all the different phases. We got
fresh meat.
Stingray, who is fresh meat, exactly. We got dragged into this during our last, was it Heroes Con or Baltimore? I forgot.
Baltimore.
It's all Baltimore. It's all like meshing together. And myself, I'm a kind of an OG '90s Valiant fan, or VH1 fan, who is basically waiting for Stingray to catch up, and then we're gonna go on this kind of reading journey together on the second and two phases. But welcome, Mr. Tom McDonald, a good friend who is also at the tables at Hard Rock, part of the Hard Rock crew, who is going to be similar to a #1 Marvel fan, converting to be a maybe #2 Valiant fan. Oh, #3 after Stingray, maybe.
Yeah.
So what's up, guys? How's the last few weeks? Miss you guys.
Good.
Yeah, it's been crazy. Somebody was showing off their Valiant Cup, so I had to show off this.
What?
So one of the members of the comic book community saw my picture. I think I sent it to you, Carl, the one with me covered in Turok #1s.
Yes. Yeah.
And so
yeah,
he took that picture, and all those are actually me under there somewhere. And then took the color and made this mug for me and shipped it to me.
Nice.
Wait, how is that a mug though? I'm not.
It's like a Yeti-ish type mug.
Oh, the Yeti thing.
Oh, nice. I thought it was a candle at first.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a candle. That's kind of why I was like processing. I thought I thought they were selling those chromium covers as like wraps. I thought it was a rolled up one of those.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's got some kind of machine that he does this with, but since he used my picture, he said, "I'm going to send you one for free." So,
that's so nice.
Cool. We got Kenneth Bird here today. What's up, Kenneth? Thanks for always stopping by. Oh, dude, Legion of Comics. I think he.
What's up, Mark? Yeah.
Nice.
Turok goodness. Mark's got a special Turok comic book with the Jurassic Park stuff on it. So.
What is that? What is the Turok comic book with Jurassic?
It's an acetate that somebody put on aftermarket, obviously, but it's got the Jurassic Park vehicle, since all the dinosaurs are on the front there.
Is that like a altered cover? Is that what it would be?
Yeah. Somebody altered it. Another member of the comic book community.
It's such a big thing in the Magic the Gathering community to alter your cards.
Yeah. You know what? I'll just show it since it's laying here. I was going to send you a picture, Carl, but I don't know if you guys how you can see this. Oh, come on, focus.
Focus. What is that?
This is an altered card. It's a card called Rexiel, the Risen Deep. He's a big Kraken guy. He's legendary. But I had the artist that actually painted the card. He did an altar over it with markers and stuff at a MagicCon one time.
We'll make you bigger so you can see. Okay, I can see it.
All right. Yeah. It's my camera's not focusing on it, but you get the idea. So, basically on the original art, like halfway through, you don't see him because of the water. So he kind of finished it out. He went in with like a little orange marker and dude for the eyes to make him glow. Just made him more scary and badass.
Nice.
But yeah.
So SCG, man, we're gonna have to get you caught up with MTG. I had a really late night last night. We had a couple guys who literally came to my Friday Night Magic to learn Magic for OAX. And one of them happened to be Mr. Dinesh himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Dinesh Shaheen came as well. So we were talking about why I was up so late. Typically, we start around like 6 and we'll end at like midnight. But last night there was an event. I was in LA. And so there happened to be 4 guys who works in the industry. We all play Magic, and then we went to the event together. So we started the Magic night at 4. I left around 5, left all these people at my house, and then basically went to the event with the 4 guys, and then came back at 8. And then that's where our 2 noobs start learning. And then
Yeah.
they learn and they got into it, and then we just kept playing until 2:30 in the morning. I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I bet.
So,
Mario, hands
so
dad.
this
So what is this?
is
What is this?
this is not the one he's referring to, but it might be the same book. I got this from a fellow Valiant collector who should be one of the next year guests. He's already kind of committed to do that. But this is one of the harder to get books that collects the Captain Yin and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and Captain Yin, for everybody who knows, contains a famous ex-editor-in-chief at Marvel's first artwork. Anybody in the chat want to guess? But
Who is that? Who could that be? There's only one that is Valiant related and editor-in-chief.
oh yeah,
Is it? I don't know. Is there more?
Joe Quesada.
Oh, it's Quesada. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought-
so
Editor-in-chief at Marvel that does art. Yeah.
yeah.
He Joe's first work is in Captain Yin. So
Really?
I thought it was Shooter, actually. I thought it was Shooter the other way around. But I guess.
well, he was too. But I mean, obviously, Joe was a lot younger at the time that Nintendo stuff was going on at Valiant, and then he really started hitting his stride with the Exo Zero, the Bloodshot Zero covers, the whole book of that, and so.
Dude, it's hard to believe that his first works was at Valiant because it was so good already, right? If you look back, it's very consistent with who he is, and his style is still very recognizable, even though it's his early works.
Yeah. So actually, this is still in this book. Yeah, it was a little thank you from a friend in 1992.
Let me get you up on focus there. All right, let me see. September 26, 1992. Oh, it's great fun having you at my party. Thank you for a great gift. Your friend Kevin. Oh, that's pretty fun.
Yeah, it's in the book.
Yeah, one of the guys that too. I think Justin. He's a collector of Valiant stuff.
Oh yeah, it goes by collecting Valiant on IG.
Yeah, I had him on the channel. He's super low key, but like somehow he'll get chatty, and then he'll show me his like Valiant memorabilia and stuff. And he literally has a VHS tape of a Valiant holiday party that's wrapped.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, that's awesome. Did you watch it? He's like, no. He's like, his whole vision is to be in his deathbed, and he'll request a VCR, and he'll pop that in just to watch and see. That's awesome.
Wow. Yeah, I had him on my he had responded to some IG posts. This is like pre-COVID, and he had responded to some IG posts, and I asked him to be on my channel, and so he came on. He has actually one of the Eternal Warrior battle axes, and several other really nice pieces of memorabilia. So
it's so cool. I mean, what's up, number one Marvel fan? One day it'll become.
It's going to be number 3 Valiant fan.
Yeah. What's up? But no, it's real. There's a lot of deep cuts for Valiant, not only in kind of Nintendo stuff that you just shared, but also the fandom, a lot of personalities within the Valiant collectorverse. I'm learning, especially as we're kind of lining up guests for next year. As a preview, everyone, we're gonna start having more guests, personalities that you guys will find very interesting. And I think there's different facets of the Valiant world that these individuals are exposed to. And one that we mentioned today was even someone who collects VHSs from Valiant holiday parties, which apparently were pretty wild. So hopefully there weren't any Diddy parties going on tape.
Right.
But if Bob Layton was involved, I mean, I'm sure it was pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, I know. There's a reason.
Just ask Jim Shooter about that.
Oh my gosh, because there's something Diddy always did too. He always kept his sunglasses on. So I don't know.
And he recorded everything, so he knows where all the bodies are buried.
Yeah, who knows? What if when the court case starts and they'll be Exhibit A, Valiant holiday party.
Right. Then Diddy's in the background.
Horrible. Watch, us three we're gonna show him at OAX, and then Lane's gonna look at it and his eyes and be like deep stare. You jerks.
So yeah, handstand. Yeah, I'm not too hip on the idea of the multiverse and Valiant either. It's to me is a lazy way of writing and strays far from the canon, so to speak. But that's where he's what he's speaking of is Alien and that's publishing Valiant stuff now. This is kind of what they've kind of started going towards. So
what are they calling it? There's a name for it, right? Like a relaunch, some sort of.
Yeah. And so basically they're saying there's all these multiverses. So it's the lazy way of bringing characters back from the dead, right? As opposed to creating new characters and building them out.
Okay, it's called Valiant Beyond. And basically, what I didn't like too, which was a little annoying, was they called it their version of All In. You know?
Yeah.
I hate it when people
say DC's
that.
version of Ultimate.
Yeah, DC version of Ultimate. DC, whatever absolute version. Oh, well, expect an absolute Ultimate and a John type of line and white relaunch. Don't do that, people. Like. As soon as you do that, you just lose all the heat because you're basically just saying you are literally copying these guys, and it's just not great. I mean, I don't hate some of these covers. I feel like they're definitely hitting on the art side of things. I haven't opened any Alien books, but are they consistent interiors? Because there was a season where it wasn't. So
it's the interiors are decent. And up until this point, has been decent enough stories, right? I mean, and so then they brought back Flamingo, which spoiler, but Flamingo is not the harbinger that dies in VH1, but in VEI, she switches places with the one that died in VH1, and she dies instead. But so. And so they bring her back to life in the story, and I'm like, well, what the crap? What is it?
Of course.
And then this is how they're starting to explain it, right? And so Rye and all them from the future are now like in the past, and it's a whole thing. They did some of this with the Chaos Effect, and they brought Magnus back. And of course, in Unity, they had the future people in the past or in that world. But to launch their universe on it just seems so disingenuous, even. So
I think so too. Although you know what, I'm not gonna hate on this. This is gonna be pretty cool, like artist edition.
Ooh, that was a great issue. That'll be cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you're saying this was one of the Quesada's first works, was it?
No, well, like I said, the game, the Captain N was, and so,
and then he left and came back into this, right?
But yeah, he started doing that, and then he launched out Ash, that fire hero that him and Jimmy Palmiotti.
Yep,
and then ended up over at Marvel with Marvel Knights, So
look at this. Valiant Zombies. Oh, I've seen this happen before somewhere.
Yeah, no, right?
And then this thing, no final art. Like they literally look like they took some AI art and be like, all right, take Valiant character, turn the zombies prompt, and let's use this for now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's like let's not like hone in on what makes these characters different or what makes the universe different. Let's just do what everybody else is doing since it's working so great for them.
Yeah, I just feel like it's so easy just to have a conversation with fans, and there's so many lovers of the IP that they can have conversations with, and it just kind of boggles my mind that it makes me wonder if they're just having these conversations at all, or they're just kind of in a bubble doing what they're doing.
They're in a bubble.
Yeah. People surround themselves by yes people generally in life because they like to hear that they're right. I was like recently at work, I had a situation where the powers that be made a decision like that totally was antithesis of where we've always been. And so they waited until me and some of my folks brought it up and they said, all right, well, we'll reverse it. And they said, well, we really didn't think through that. It's like, well, did you think to ask? You know, if you had asked, we could have told you that and you wouldn't have to go through this. But, yeah.
It's tough. It's true. I mean, I think Valiant, unfortunately, has been in a bubble. I hope it's not because of like the culture that established at the time, because I felt like things were, I wouldn't say it was easy, but like they rode that like 90s train like pretty hard.
Yeah.
Like, and then I think because the guys were able to cash out quick and sell the Acclaim wasn't handed a solid foundation. I'm guessing operationally and kind of creatively. And because of that, I think it just kind of went all over the place. But it was really momentum driven.
If you think back to the majority of, the most books, like characters that and story arcs that you like, they found a good mix of good writers and good artists, right? Well, and so then in the 90s, where the flash of the image group was really what everybody wanted, Valiant was different because they had more of a house style art, but they had the story. Everybody's like, okay, I dig the story. Well, when Shooter was ousted, they basically started going towards what everybody else was doing, which was selling by art. So you introduced like Bart Sears and Exo, on Turok and that type of thing. And so as they, deviated away from the story and just leaned on the art, then that's when they went wonky. And of course, then Acclaim bought them and it was all horrible. But yeah.
Let's see what the chat's saying. My friend Stevie B hates Valiant books.
Yeah, so Stevie B is a guy, and we always dig at him. Anytime I post anything Valiant, everybody that knows him always puts Stevie B Valiant because we're picking on him. Somebody sent him a Bloodshot #1 9.8, and he took it and shot a hole through it. That's
hilarious. Real holes. Like he put it as like a target and shot it. That's freaking hilarious.
Yeah, he has it on his wall.
Wow.
Why does he have such a hate for Valiant? Is there a reason?
So I think it is
1,000 copies of Torque #1. He has like
right. Yeah, I think it has to do with timing. Yeah, I think it has to do with timing, and he's a big Marvel guy. And so I just think he never got into the storylines. I accuse him. He is from Arkansas, so I question whether or not he can read. So, if he can't read, is he going to dig Valiant? I'm just saying. So,
I mean, I was a Marvel guy. I never got into storyline either till now. It's never too late.
Yeah. Well, and John, from Canada, so appreciate him for joining us. But
where are we? Who's from Canada?
John. The comments you read earlier.
Yeah, there goes John. John from Canada. Hey, Canadian John. We also got this. I'm not over familiar with more recent Valiant books, but the original pre-Uni comics were some of the best ever. Stingray, would you agree? I mean, you've been kind of now absorbing a few of the books.
I mean, the stuff
even like marinating at all. How's it feel?
I mean, I'm enjoying it. It's funny, going back and reading something that came out when I was a kid that I can somehow like missed completely, and reading it for the first time. I've been really enjoying it so far. I mean, I've mostly just been Shadow Man and Exo so far, but they've been pretty good. And like I said with Exo, like you told me to read that one as the next one after Shadow Man, Carl, because it was popular. And as I was reading, I was like, yeah, I could see why this is popular. It just made sense,
Yeah, I would say everyone who's I would say like 9 out of 10 folks when I meet them and they said, "Oh, I know Valiant," and I'll be like, "What's your favorite?" They'll always say, 9 out of 10 will say Exo.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So did we decide what you're reading next? I know we don't have any reading catch up today because we're going to talk about comic art news today, and then we're going to dive into some show and tell. But
so Jason last time suggested Harbinger, so I'm going to go into that one.
All right, Harbinger is next, guys.
And he gave me permission to stop at number 25, I think.
Yeah, you get the meat and potatoes there. So
yeah, why 25?
That's the showdown between Harada and Pete or Sting, and so that's the showdown. And so, like, once that happens, Faith takes over the team. And it's a totally different team. And so it kind of takes the book in a totally different direction. Yeah.
You know
but
what?
after that, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Rye and then Rye and the Future Force also. But yeah.
Okay.
I think so. I think Rye and Future Force, those are good because they'll tie in all your kind of Unity questions, because plays a very, very crucial role in it all. And then maybe get to Archer and Armstrong, because Archer Armstrong's kind of a standalone type.
Okay.
And kind of similar to Shadow Man, right? They kind of got their own thing going on.
Yeah.
And so I think it'd be a good one to check out. And then
Well,
following Archer Armstrong would probably be Eternal Warrior, because you should then get like the macro scope of how the brothers all hang out.
Okay. Well, yeah.
So
the Barry Windsor art, right?
Right. Well, if you think about 2099 universe in Marvel, so like you got a standalone thing that's like way ahead.
Yeah.
And so that's Ryan, the Future Force, Magnus is in that timeline. So it just kind of moves it that far in ahead. So.
Got it. Okay.
Oh, then maybe instead of going to Archer Armstrong after Rye, maybe he should do kind of Magnus, Solar, like just to get some of the early feels, right?
Yeah, I mean those are the longer series, but again, there are some good stopping points before it gets wonky. Just like Exo did towards the end, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, because Solar ends up desiring to make a whole nother universe, and they kind of do that thing. Him and Dan Jurgens, but which the art's nice, the story was kind of whatever, but yeah, there's good stopping spots.
We have a bunch of suggestions actually. Handstand, read up to Omega, and be done with VH1.
Did you see Tom's question right after that?
All right, let's take a look. The attention span for the best Valiant series, will it be?
Depends on what Tom likes. So if Tom likes mutants, Harbinger. If he likes sci-fi, Magnus, Robot Fighter, and Rye, are good sci-fis because it's set so far in the future.
What do you guys think about when you think about George Perez? I know he's a big Perez fan.
Oh, in Valiant?
Did George? Well, the only thing that I know George did was that little Valiant Voyeur thing picture. I don't know if he ever did any other art besides that.
Yeah, I don't know anything in art, but work-wise. Yo, Mr. Brian Wells in the building.
What's up, Brian?
I mean, 12 issue, well written, no sword stuff.
No sword
stuff. Okay.
Definitely not Eternal Warrior.
Right. I would say probably either Harbinger or Solar then.
Solar is really good. Solar actually,
especially if the first 12 issues, because 10 is where they introduced the Eternal Warrior.
Yeah.
And so you're still talking about Perlin art. You got the Unity crossover in there.
Dude, what would be kind of cool? Maybe we set Tom off to a different track than Stingray.
Yeah.
And then we all come together and connect the dots.
Converge. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool. What do you think, Tom? Yeah, Crane also said Solar. Yeah.
Well, and I think Tom likes Green Lantern, so I feel like Solar might be a similar vibe.
True. You know what? I think so too. So I think Tom would be up for it. This next month it's Harbinger reading time for Stingray, and then maybe for you, we'll have you up to share about Solar. Done. All right.
And Solar is the anchor, and if you're interested in Solar and the anchor character for Valiant or VH1 in particular, stay tuned. So kind of a sneak peek there.
Nice. Yes, definitely stay tuned today. There's some really cool stuff when we get to show and tell. So okay, so let's talk about so we got our kind of agenda for reading Valiant. But what's been happening for comic art news? We're like 6 weeks away from OAX. There's just been a lot of excitement. There's been a ton of auctions. I think everyone's like just broke out of their mind. And now everyone's like, you can see like everyone trying to sell stuff to try to make it to OAX so they have a kind of a dry powder.
Right.
What have been catching you guys' eyes? I mean, I've been traveling myself, so I've been just listening. I've been engaging but often, when these, comic art lives are happening, I am listening. But what are some highlights that you guys have come across?
In terms of just stuff that people have been getting, or
yeah, what people have been getting, what's been happening in the comic art news world. Any new artists coming to OAX?
So we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the passing of Joe Riviera, Paulo's dad. I think he was actually scheduled to be at OAX.
Well, I know that during Comic Art Live, when Bill had Paulo on, he said that he was going to get Joe to come with him to OAX. Okay. So yeah.
So obviously the Valiant series, Paulo was the artist and Joe was the inker. So kind of the connection there, but so sorry for his passing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that there's been a lot of art shows. I mean, of course, we're glut with the art auctions. Comic Link just had one that ended last week. Had some really great stuff on there, and then Comic Connect actually ends, I think, Monday. Or Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm watching that one piece on that one.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you watching that piece I sent you? I think, was that a Heritage piece or Comic Connect?
The one you sent me is a Heritage. It's for the next signature one in January.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm watching one on the Comic Connect.
Gotcha. Yeah, nice. I'm excited to see what
we'll see. I'm currently the high bidder on it, but that doesn't mean anything.
Go. So Comic Con next Monday. So that's gonna pretty much, I think, close out the year.
I hope so.
I don't know. I just don't feel like anyone's gonna be bidding on anything after that because everyone's gonna be in Christmas mode, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so number one Marvel fan says, I got two I'm stoked for, but we'll see. Handstand Dad says Turok video game was pretty exciting, and of course Turok's not part of Valiant anymore. He's a Gold Key character, but I feel like Turok, when Acclaim, their idea they had, which was kind of ahead of its time and a victim of circumstances, but Turok was the only thing they did anything good with, right? I mean, they had the Shadow Man game, they had the Armorines game, but really the one everybody remembers is the Turok one.
Mm-hmm.
Was there an EXO game as well? I don't know why I kind of EXO Iron Man game.
Yeah, it was EXO and Iron Man. Remember?
Yeah, the crossover.
Yeah. That was
there's two comics with that one, and matter of fact, Heritage just had one of those pages up not too long ago.
What? EXO Iron Man?
Yeah. I thought I sent you a link for that one.
You might have. I may have missed it. Yeah. Well, who was the artist though?
Oh, I don't remember.
Andy Smith.
Okay,
that sounds familiar. Okay. Well, so I guess if we jump back really quick to OAX, like who's in for the pub crawl?
So I mean, I know that Wolvie fan said he was going to cover like 10, 12 people. But if he's going to let people tag along, that want to pay for their own way, I mean, I'd be down to go hang out.
Wait, what is this? Wolvie fan's going to cover drinks for 12 people?
He said he was going to do a bub crawl. He's calling it the bub crawl, not the pub crawl, because, Wolverine. And I think he said he was going to cover 10 or 12 people.
That's kind of cool. That's nice.
Yeah. But if they don't mind, hangers on, I'll pay my own way.
Yeah, the biker Jesus and his 12 disciples.
Yeah, exactly. And did you hear that he's getting Adam Kubert? I think it was Adam to do art for a T-shirt for the pub crawl.
I heard about that too. I mean, there was another chat that I with him in, and I suggested him getting a biker vest made.
That would be fun.
I mean, I'll get one.
Hell yeah.
All right, so there's that. Turok multiplayer game, Rarest of All. I've never even heard of that before. It's so rare. I've never heard of it.
Yeah,
I remember. I don't think I ever played it, but I remember when it came out.
What was it? It's kind of like World of Warcraft kind of thing, or
no? It was running around and killing dinosaurs.
Kind of like Doom, or
more like Doom. Yeah,
I'm like Doom. Okay, so you're multiple. There's a bunch of Toroks that you could play, or is it
I didn't know it was multiplayer.
Yeah, I didn't know it was multiplayer either. I knew about the ones that were like Doom, where you instead of demons or whatever, you're fighting dinosaurs. But
okay. Okay. And what's all this talk in the chat about heavy metal? I'm not tracking.
The armor, Iron Man.
Exo and Iron Man. I think that was the name of the game. Heavy Metal.
Okay. I have no idea. Mel's and okay. Oh, Heavy Metal was a bad time. The tech was very limited for that game. Could have been great. So conceptually, it sounds like from what Brian's saying, it potentially had great. It would have been great.
Yeah, and I never played the Shadow Man game, so I don't remember.
From what I've seen online, it was pretty awful. But
Yeah,
I still kind of wouldn't mind tracking it down just for fun.
I wonder if there's like a graded version, sealed
Of the game. That would be funny.
Those would be cool. Those would be cool to have, actually.
So I so besides art and stuff, I do collect other Valiant collectibles. So I do have all the video games, but I don't have any graded ones. They're all unboxed.
Have you thought about sending them in for grading?
Just like these little guys right here.
What is that?
That's cool.
These are the mini mates.
That's cool.
And so the XO and Bloodshot, and with changeable headgear.
That's cool. I can't tell by the sizes, but is it like a Lego character or
It's
bigger?
slightly big. What was is it Duplo or whatever it was? Not Lego, but the ones that were a little slightly bigger. They're more those size. Yeah, so they're a little bit bigger than a Lego is. But yeah, they're shaped like a Lego with their hands and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, Handstand Dad. I just picked that up on eBay from a best offer. So yeah.
Nice. And then Shadow Man on Dreamcast is pretty fun. And then
Did anybody play Dreamcast?
I never had one.
No.
Yeah, I never did too either. You know, because Sega Saturn kind of did me in on Sega, because I always bet on Sega, from the Genesis to the Saturn, because the Saturn was coming out at the same time that PlayStation came out. PlayStation 1 came out.
Yeah.
And I said, what does Sony know about games? What do I know?
I can't remember which one's Dreamcast. What was Dreamcast?
It was like a CD. It had a CD. It was Sega's game system for that generation. So
it was kind of the upgrade from Genesis.
Yeah. So Sega Genesis, then you had Sega Saturn, and then I think Dreamcast was next.
Yeah.
I had a Genesis. I had remember Neo Geo?
Yep.
I had that. And then I had and then I had the Nintendo, obviously. I had the Japanese one. My mom would the way she kept my brother and I entertained was she would go to Hong Kong and she would buy the Japanese ones, and back then I don't think it was available in America, but they had like kind of like white label. So there's like companies where you go and you select the games and then they transfer it on their cartridges. And so the cartridges would be like they're not the graphics. I mean, they're basically bootlegs, but in Asia it's I guess it's a thing, and they basically would just put it into like a kind of a generic cartridge, and it'll just be the name of the game, and then we would just, that's the cartridge we had. And I always remember wait for my mom to come from Hong Kong, and then we'll be sitting in front of the TV, and then she'll like take a big bag and a duffel bag and just pour like 50 games onto the floor, and my brother was like, and we just like, and then we'll be in front of the TV for like the next 4 months.
Nice.
And my parents they just put food in front of us to feed us while we play games. That was a vivid memory of gaming systems.
So so Handstand Dad mentions that they're going to be coming out with the Bloodshot novel. The guy that writes a lot of the books actually writing a novel. So
oh really? Who's the writer? It's interesting.
Fred Van Lanting.
Got it. All right, Tom. We'll go back to Valiant. Here we are.
Well, we're talking about. Wait a minute. We're talking about Valiant. I mean, that's how we ended up there. As a matter of fact, I in the private chat, I put you a video, Carl, of gameplay for the heavy metal game.
Oh wow! Check it out. Make it.
Yeah. So he's writing the books there for the Alien. So we'll see. So let's see some gameplay here.
Oh wow! 2-player start. Yo, this is so cool. It's such like a throwback.
Oh my gosh. That looks like right out of the cartoon.
Yeah.
Dude, 6'1", 225 pounds. Exo is 7 feet and 450 pounds.
I guess Shanhara is pretty heavy.
Jeez. Okay,
How
so
many
just-
comics before games? There were 2 comics released for this game right here. So
Okay.
Well, I know that there's the Shadow Men, and then there was the Turok, and then this one I think were the only.
Armorines also. So
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know about that one.
So like if you like military team style stuff, hardcore and Armorines is another good one. So
Those are great.
or 2 other
Yeah.
ones.
I like Armories a lot. Just character design wise.
Mhm.
Hardcore was interesting because I felt like they were creating like regular people. So like their character design were like day-to-day people in jumpsuits. All right. Wow. It's consistent with how long games loaded back then.
Not even an online game.
Think about the internet. You remember all dial up and then get out the phone. I gotta
Right.
call.
Yo, this is hilarious. Oh yeah, and it's always consistent with like the logic of somehow the hero stuff shoots through the heroes to the bad
Right.
guy.
No friendly fire, man.
Yeah,
No
this
friendly-
game would have been about the time Acclaim was holding on for dear life, and Marvel was too. So yeah, Tom.
So it was kind of a low point for comics industry,
Oh yeah, for sure.
and almost like would this be like the height of the gaming industry or just the beginning? I think beginning, right?
Yeah, I mean, where before it went next level, right? So
I mean, looking at this, I
That's
can
supposed to-
definitely imagine.
Is that supposed to be one of the spider aliens in the back there?
I didn't see it.
Stomping on some dude. In the
Yeah.
ring.
That's pretty funny.
And I wonder how this was structured. I guess on the business side, did Acclaim just come up with an idea to license Iron Man? Well, I guess back then, Marvel was very open to licensing Iron Man.
Oh yeah, whatever they can make a buck off of,
Yeah, wherever the money comes from. So they just made it work because they own Excel, and then I think they probably thought by leveraging Iron Man to, put in Excel or increase Excel's profile. I mean, the other thing that's funny too is the inconsistencies because on the wow, I didn't know. Oh, is that like a sorcerer alien? But what I was saying was Exo's supposed to be 7 feet tall, but in the game he's the same height as Iron Man.
Yeah.
Well, you can't have somebody bigger than Iron Man. I mean, I would think Marvel would have a problem with that, right? Because they're similar character design,
They
right?
are similar characters, yeah. But he's supposed to be double the size and double the weight, so that definitely does not reflect that.
It's the 90s.
Yeah, I know. Wait a minute. All these spider aliens. It's pretty funny. What system was this on again? Sega, or all of them?
I don't remember if I think this was 64.
1996. Yep. Here's what. So Tom highlighted that it was definitely when Marvel was selling its soul for food. I mean, in fact, I'll have something on my show and tell later too that had some cool story attached to it. But ultimately, I think at one point, Image had Marvel characters, right? Or they licensed it, where they had Iron Man and a few other things that was happening under Image. So kind of similar to what we're seeing with Transformers today, where they licensed Transformers, but I think at one point Image actually did license some of the Marvel characters.
Well, I mean, back then you also had the Access books, so the Amalgam, and so I mean, even they were playing nice with DC. say it's all about trying to sell some books and pay the rent. I mean, because again, Acclaim had the right idea. Give me some IP and let's multi-platform it. And so it's just, again, a victim of the timing. It's horrible. and not a lot of big conglomerates have ever been able to get it right. You think about AT&T recently bought Time Warner with the idea of, multi-platforming everything, and a couple years later sold it off because they couldn't do it right. So it's tough to do.
And I don't know if you guys heard, I mean, speaking of like media news, I won't name him, but the executive who was in charge of all the Spider-Man movies at Sony was laid off yesterday. And those of us who work in media were like high-fiving and who loves comics are like high-fiving because, man, like Craven, I don't know if you guys saw that, but
nope.
I watched it on the premiere day and it was rough.
I have not watched any of the Sony movies, the Spider-Man ones. I haven't seen any of the Venom movies. I didn't see Madam Web. I didn't see Morbius, and I have no plan to watch Craven.
I saw Morbius, just to see, because the trailer looks pretty good, but it just was not good. And then Madam Web I've not seen yet, but I kind of want to see just to like have a complete understanding of what an idiot this guy is, to completely ruin great material. I mean, like how you do that, right? And so it's just so annoying. But yeah, Warner Brothers, definitely wasn't run by the best people. Hopefully things change. I don't know about you guys. I'm a big believer of James Gunn. I'm Team James Gunn when it comes to cinema, and I think it's good. The Superman's gonna be great. I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, but so that's his. But yeah, so the world of Valiant, a lot of times people just limit it to just the, the few comic characters that they recognize, but there's quite a bit more related to it.
I don't know what this is evolving to. What's this?
No, this is like barbed wire. I don't think this is Exo anymore.
I'm like, what is this? Like, so like, later when you play, there's some girl that you can play. That's hilarious.
No, that looks like Pamela Anderson. That looks like must be barbed wire. That would have came out.
Oh, wow!
It's so hilarious.
Yeah, whoever did this video just decided to add it at the end because, like Brian said,
it's so funny. Like you see, replay Iron Man, Exo Memo, and then it's Pamela Anderson. All right, enough of this.
That's pretty funny.
But yeah, so I think we're halfway through the show. I think it's probably a good time to move into show and tell because we've had some pretty fun pickups.
Yeah.
So I'm actually let's do Stingray myself and then Jason. I think that's a good order because Jason some really fun stuff this time around. So
are we showing non-Valiant stuff or just Valiant?
Yeah, non-Valiant is cool. Today's the comic art chat. So let's talk about comic art in general.
All right. Well, I've gotten several things in the past week, some smaller things that I picked up. So I'll just kind of go through those real quick. I got this cool little Green Goblin sketch from Umberto Ramos. Got that from Anthony recently.
It's very detailed. Nice.
Yeah, it was surprised me the size of it, but it's got a lot of detail in it. Got this one along with that. It's Animal Man by Chaz Trude, who worked on the book with Grant Morrison back.
Oh, dude, I have the trade right here. Hold on a second.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because in our local, just got it in the mail. Okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
We submitted, a book club. Shaheen, one of our buddies in LA. You guys will all meet at OAX.
Cool.
He's such a fan of Animal Man. He basically started a kind of a in-person book club where I read this and then meet up to talk about it. I didn't know it was actually one of the first DC Black Label books.
Awesome.
You guys know that?
Yeah, cool. Yeah. But I like this one particularly because of the whale in the background here. I thought that was fun.
Maybe Stingray is right behind it.
Yeah, him and Animal Man could have a team up. So then I got this Spider-Man by Jim Chung. Got that one off of Matt DiTullio.
Yes, Tom. For once, I'm wearing pants.
And so Brian's going to be on Only Slabs. I dropped the link in the chat, but it's Rob Fat Stacks of Comics, and they show like slab books. And so I'm sure that all of his record-breaking Valiant Nintendo stuff is going to be being shown. So
That's
cool.
Great. I'm glad you explained it, because for a moment I thought he was on a not safe to work.
yeah, it used to be. They used to call it Slab Hub, and then I think somebody said something about it.
Wow,
And so now it's Only Slabs. So again, it's tongue in cheek.
intentional. Both it was intentional. Got it.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
That's pretty funny.
I can only imagine what their logos look like.
Yeah, exactly like the other.
All right, so this is my Valiant pickup, my first Valiant pickup. This is Shadow Man number 7, which I think is the same issue that Carl has something from.
Yes.
Page number 19. Jack is fighting some dude in a graveyard. So this is a heritage pickup. I thought this was a fun page. I thought it would be a good way to commemorate my newfound Valiant fandom.
Yeah, dude, it's really nice. There's a lot of Shadow Man. There's a lot of action.
Yeah, you get to really see the logo on his chest and purple spots.
Classic costume.
Yep.
Yeah, and right, like when you got this in the mail and when you looked at it, like, you know, freshly read, you know.
Yeah, so I mean that was cool because it was, you know, fresh in my mind, and I like this costume better than the later one with the leather jacket and all that.
Mm-hmm.
The art's really nice. It was interesting seeing it, you know, because of all the word balloons being pasted on there, but there's no letters or anything. They're all just kind of yellow splotches now.
Why was that? I was always kind of curious why that's the case. Like they put the word balloons on there, but then there's no word.
So like
Valiant stuff.
This one here is actually peeling off a little bit. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they were using some kind of other way to apply the words digitally or what, but yeah, that glue, you know, stains that stuff pretty badly.
Yeah. All right, and I got one last thing here. This is a big one. You guys remember this? At least I talked about it at Baltimore. I'll show you the other thing first, real quick. This one, I bought this off of Anthony. I've been paying it off over the last couple months. You guys might recognize this from Anthony's tubs at conventions. I bought off of him a complete issue of OA for Thunderbolts number 33, which came out in 1999. So I'll just kind of flip through that real quick.
Flip through. So why this full issue? I mean, welcome to the full issue land.
Thank you.
Why this one?
Well, honestly, availability. I never thought I would own a full issue, but this was just chilling on Anthony's website, and I saw it, and it said please inquire. So I asked him about it, and you know, we worked out a deal. Check out the Sentinels over here. I love that page.
Really nice.
But I'm a huge Thunderbolts fan. This is one of my favorite Marvel books from that time. The first 33 issues of Thunderbolts, which was all Mark Bagley on the art and written by Kurt Busiek, one of my favorite runs on any Marvel comic I've ever read. I think it's great. And so, excuse me, this was the last issue written by Busiek. And I just thought it was, if I'm going to have an issue of Thunderbolts from that run, this is actually a really good example issue of what that book was. And it just happened that Anthony had it whole, and so I was able to buy it from him. This page here, one of the best pages in the book. You get Bagley Spider-Man at not Bagley prices.
Wait. So that's the whole issue is Bagley?
Yeah, Bagley was the artist on Thunderbolts, man.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
You get Bagley Spider-Man fighting Sentinels.
Oh, that's a huge win as it is. I mean, it's like the side pages are crazy right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I got this for Thunderbolts prices, which is much more affordable.
Great score.
Yep. And then there's a couple of other really cool pages in here too. But
that's the story that they're fighting during the onslaught period. Is that?
Yeah.
Is
So that was a flashback where Jolt was going through kind of what happened, how she lost her parents during onslaught. Spider-Man's just kind of there. I think it was just an excuse for Bagley to draw him.
right?
Yeah.
What year was this?
99.
Okay, I was definitely.
So this is the other really cool page. This is the original 5 X-Men up here. There's Professor X on the ground.
Nice.
There's a lot of good pages in this issue. I think it's
Yep.
just a sleeper thing because people go Thunderbolts. Eh.
And then this issue here is a bunch of the old villains. So you have like Blob, Unis the Untouchable. I think that's the Changeling, the Vanisher. No, wait, that's the Vanisher. Mastermind. And there's the Ogre, who is the character that they meet in this issue, who's kind of going through flashbacks.
Dude,
But
what
yeah,
a
no,
super issue, dude. This
Yeah.
is a score, man. Congrats.
yeah,
Wow.
there's just so much really good stuff in this one. It was a really good story.
Yeah.
And you know, one of the big things. Oh yeah, here you go. This is one with the new Masters of Evil here, including Tiger Shark, which makes this technically Stingray adjacent.
Wow. And is that their first appearance of the new group?
No. They'd been in the book for a while at that point.
Okay. But man, there's a lot of detail on this one. Like every.
All right, hold on.
page
Here's the next really banger page. This one here, this great splash of the new Beetle.
Damn.
Yep.
So who was the inker on this?
Scott Hanna.
Oh wow, yeah.
Dude, great pages. This is such a score.
And then there's that last page.
Wow.
Yep. And to answer Tom's question, no, I have not tracked down the cover yet. That is going to be a 2025 goal to try and find that cover.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's been in discussion though. It's been in discussion. Yeah.
So
Let's see what that cover looks like. Thunderbolts. What
number 33.
Okay, let's take a look. So at the stage. Okay. Is it the second
No,
one?
there you go. Yeah, that one. Yep.
All right, let's take a look. The left or the right?
No, that's 0 and 1 right there. I think you got a page with all of them. You're gonna have to scroll.
Yeah,
There you go. There you go. Yep, that's it.
This one on the right. All right, folks.
Yeah, the one on
if
the
you
right.
guys see, everyone keep an eye on this for Stingray, who is putting this on his 2025 goal, and I'm gonna will it to existence. So
Manifest it.
Hey,
Yes.
you go into a good place in January to maybe run into something like this.
Yeah, my credit card is already scared.
Yeah, but that's what time payments are for. that influence.
Well, you know what? Time payments is what allowed me to buy that complete issue. So there,
Right.
you might have something there.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, that issue is a freaking banger issue. I mean, I gotta say though, and I'm probably asking this on behalf of the whole chat. Didn't see any Stingray art on this last show and tell. What the heck happened?
So I mean, published Stingray art is hard to find. There's not a lot out there, right? And because he's not only had so many appearances, but I've got 6 Stingray commissions lined up for OAX, so I'll have plenty to show.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, just got to be patient. I actually have like 2 other commissions coming in the mail soon. Should be. I don't know exactly when, and one is a pretty big one. It's a pretty big artist, so
should be fun.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to those.
Right.
But that's what I had. So
All right, we should try to wrap up before Bill's show, I guess. Marvel #1 fan. So I'll do a quick show and tell, and then because I really want to get to SCG. So mine's pretty straightforward. I just have a couple things. I was gonna show something else, but I'll just do these 2. This is the splash that we're talking about.
number 7, issue number 7. Wow,
Yeah,
that's nice.
7 is a splash. I struggle a little bit because I see your page. I also think is amazing, but I did pay like 10x.
Unfortunately,
I'm jumping a little bit. I hope there's no one in the chat that did it to me. but it was going good for a bit because we were all watching it. I think we were all like, all right. I think you guys were rooting for me.
Oh
and
yeah,
all of a sudden, this went out of control.
That's crazy because I didn't realize it was like edge to edge like that.
That was kind of cool. I think that part when I got it made me feel a little better.
You don't have the standard like the borders with the blue line and everything on that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it basically represents a parallel to the edge to edge money that flowed out of my pocket. Rip the border. That. And the second thing I got was kind of just talking about Sean Chen and his run when he came back
Iron Man
with the Iron Man. This is from his issue #1 that came out.
And you know who wrote that?
Who?
Kurt Busiek. That was around the same time that he. So at that time for Marvel, he was writing Iron Man, Thunderbolts, and Avengers all at the same time.
Oh, cool! So it's really nice sample. And,
that's a good page.
For what I got totally bombed on during for Shadow Man, I got a really good deal on this one. It kind of went under the radar, so I'm pretty happy with this guy here. So those are my shows today. But let's get to SCG, man. I'm so excited for you. All right, let's go. You know what you texted me last night though. You gotta start with that.
Well, I've gotten a few big ones.
All right, here goes. Monsters.
Well, we're gonna
you leave a Southern Comic Geek for a month, then
all right. So this is from round 32, third appearance of Rogue. For those of you who know, Rogue actually kissed Rom, and that's how she decided to go good.
Really?
Wait, what? Is that what happened? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So you know how Rogue kisses and will like get all the memories and all that kind of stuff. So in the ROM issues, it's 32 and is it 31 and 32 or 32 and 33? Either way, the two issues she's in with ROM, she kisses him, and then she's like, "Wow, he's a really noble person inside that armor." And I'm wondering why I'm doing things the way I do. And she actually rescues him from the hybrid over here.
I had no idea. So
it's really a weird.
Wow, that's so cool.
It's really a weird issue because the hybrid's talking about having kids with Rogue, and I don't know about. I can't speak to the writing, but
it's funny because you think about it, back then, it's a bunch of 20-something-year-olds writing adult stuff. So like their imagination of what adult is it's different. You know?
So this is X-Force. I think it's 22 or 23. Mike Choi pencils. This is Bastion. If anybody's a fan of the latest X-Men series, this is Bastion chasing down Hope. This is the issue where Nightcrawler dies.
Oh,
whoa!
What year was that one?
2008, 9, somewhere around there.
Oh, okay.
Wow, how does he come back? Because he died. Is he dead? Is Nightcrawler dead?
No, he comes back. It's Ed, if I remember correctly, and people correct me if I'm wrong in the chat or the comments afterwards, but it seems like he's in heaven and he ends up coming back to save the X-Men or something of that nature. Because Nightcrawler's always been kind of more the conscience rather of the X-Men. But yeah, so that whole issue came up on Heritage earlier this year.
Whoa,
and
someone broke it up.
And the guy broke it up, and the pages are on CAF. He tried to sell most of them on CAF, and he didn't get what he wanted on CAF on that one because he posted it on Heritage, and I bought it there. So,
got it. Okay. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, that's a great book. And then now Nightcrawler, Spider-Man too. I actually have that run.
This is.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I saw that. That was it Dueling Dealers?
Yeah. And I was trying to be good. I wasn't doing a good job of it. And I saw this, and Anthony smelt blood in the water, and he wanted the deal because and I think is that the night that you got that Herboto Ramos?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so anyway, so David Finch, I'm actually thinking about getting this inked.
Yeah,
that would look
Dueling
like
Dealers are dangerous, guys.
Yes, they are.
I try to watch it on replay now because when I watch it live, I always have
That's it. That's what PG-13 Carl says too.
So for my finale here,
Here goes.
So I reached out to Barry Windsor Smith's website, and took forever for him to respond back. And then there was like a big lag between our response back and forth. They found some pages. We tried to get a deal cut, couldn't cut the deal, yada, yada. So finally was able to cut a deal. Finally, the mail cooperated and got to where it was supposed to go. But this is from the Alpha Omega storyline that was fit in the first books of Solar. So, I think it was Don Perlin had done the interior pages for Solar. However, Barry Windsor Smith was doing the Alpha Omega storyline that was fit throughout those books. So this one originally appeared in Solar issue 10, which happens to be the black cover or the first appearance of the Eternal Warrior also. But this is Barry Windsor Smith goodness, and here's the money shot right here.
Oh wow,
money shot. So those of you guys who read Solar 10, like literally when Jason showed me this, like my skin crawled. I was like, oh, like
Well, so it was funny because I thought we could cut a deal with more, so I asked Carl if he wanted to, get one of these other pages that was available. So I said, one of these other pages available. And he goes, they're okay. Which one are you getting? It's like, this is the one I'm getting.
Yeah, those are okay. I'm okay on that.
So I was like, this is kind of the one I'm going to get. But he does the did the enhanced inks on it because I guess.
Yeah, what do you do on it? Did you compare it to what was published versus what you did to it? Because he always does like upgrades on his board.
Yeah. So I've got the colors, but which the colors are vibrant as all the early Valiants were, but I really couldn't tell much of a difference. And then he goes about repasting the words on there and stuff. So,
that makes sense.
That's why it's not brown like most of the other stuff.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that he cares about his art enough to kind of protect it, because I think there are some other art collectors that actually take their word bubbles off because they don't want it to continue yelling the page. But man, congrats, man! How you feel, SCG?
Well, it went into the favorites of my gallery on CAF. Nice. And so the only thing could have been better about that is if he was in the suit. But yeah. But other than that, his lines were just amazing. I think somebody commented on my CAF page, that so much chaos, but just so definitive. Okay. If you think about his machine man stuff, which I know Carl, of course, has several pages from, nice. Just the line and the detail, the meticulousness of it is just amazing. That page you sent me talking about Machine Man, he's already marked it down. So, yeah. So I'm wondering if he's or the person rather, I don't know if I'm assuming it's a he, wants to, kind of strum up some funds.
Well, I said to you because I sense, for some reason, that they're flexible. And I think right now, December, they say is always the best time to buy art because people are always trying to get Christmas money. So you might be able to put that offer in and we'll be Machine Man Brothers.
Yeah. Well, what sold me on the page though, because I was looking, I was like,
I like that page.
Was the Machine Man panel, and he's, what was it about the Kodak? What have you missed without the Kodak? Yeah. So that's from a commercial that was out during that time, and that was a kind of Kodak camera. And so you can Google up that Kodak camera, and the commercial jingle comes up, and that's what he's repeating in that issue. So I thought that's
hilarious. That's
very
cool.
dated and nice. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's fun. It's a fun page. That's what I thought. Yeah, it's not like fighting whatever, but it's kind of like a cool nostalgic moment.
Yeah, if it would be somewhere in like the 25-3 range.
That's kind of what I was thinking too. The 25 would be kind of.
So Yeah, so I mean, I would think, yeah, okay, yeah, that's definitely something to grab up because in that heritage auction, which spoiler, somebody might have picked up something nice there for a decent price on the Barry Windsor Smith side, and then somebody else missed out on some because they were waiting for the next one.
Sure, and then the next one, I think I know the winner of the next one, so we should have him on and talk about it. When we do the Machine Man page, and then when Stingray gets his, then we'll do a Machine Man.
Wait, I'm getting Machine Man art now.
That's a good read too. Like when we kind of, well, I know we're focused on Valiant, but like Machine Man's a great read. I tell a lot of people to read that 1985, 84 Machine Man run. I think that was one of that was very comeback, right?
I have Machine Man art, not from that, but I have an Avengers page by John Buscema that has Stingray and Machine Man on it.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know they brought him back later because there was some rights issues, I believe.
Oh yeah, because he was in the 2001 originally, right?
So Warner, speaking of mismanagement, goes and claims that, hey, this is our character, and so I think Marvel's been a little bit more careful about that. But I mean, speaking of auctions, there was like a great Machine Man cover from Kirby issue 9 that I think sold for like half the value, but I just didn't have the funds to make it. But it was on my list, but I was like, man, I'm tapped out. But yeah, so speaking of tapped out, I guess we're good because we should probably all transition to Bill's Comic Art Live, and there's a sale over there. But thank you, everybody. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to y'all as well.
Holidays.
And I'll see you guys in person. We're gonna do a group hug in about
6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So pretty excited.
Hell yeah.
All right, fella.
So yeah, Bob Layton will be signing this for me at OAX. So
I'm picking up a commission from Bob Layton.
I am as well.
Nice. Oh, I've seen yours too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'll ask him about his VHS video tape. All right, everybody. We'll see you at the CAF Live, guys.
Bye.
Bye.